Hello, everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from CNN. We're also going to be taking a look at one from the New York Post. And then we're going to be listening to an audio clip here from Fredo Cuomo because his wife has now tested positive for the WuFlu. And yeah, both of them are kind of to blame for that. You know, they're saying he was quarantined in the basement, you know, like he was Sloth from the Goonies, and that they were practicing, the social distancing thing and the quarantining and all that in his household. Well, they weren't, and now his wife has it. But I want to show how CNN is fake news and lies because they're trying to push this narrative that he's been locked in the basement like Sloth, when he hasn't. And they're conveniently leaving out the article here, what happened with what the New York Post is reporting on how Chris was out in his yard and someone heckled him and he spurged out because maybe that's why they want to keep it quiet because of that and the fact that he was outside when he's supposed to be quarantined in his basement, like a deformed chode like Sloth. I mean, he is the deformed chode of the family after all. But yeah, and then we'll at a point we're going to go and listen to him how he refers to the biker because it's better to hear him saying it himself than to read it in print. But anyway, let's get through this here. The wife of CNN anchor Chris Cuomo has been diagnosed with WuFlu 2 weeks after he announced he was infected. Christina now has WuFlu. She is now positive, and it just breaks my heart. It's the one thing I was hoping wouldn't happen, and now it has, he said on his show, Cuomo Primetime, on Wednesday night. If you were hoping for it not to happen, maybe you should have stayed locked in your basement, I mean, hell, like the Cyclops from freaking Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. That might have, stop the whole situation. And what gets me is a doctor told him, get your mother out of the house, because from what I understand, she lives there, Grandma Cuomo. I wonder how long before she gets, a positive friggin' test, and he's killed Grandma. Oh, I think Big Bro ain't gonna be happy with that one. Anyway, he later tweeted that his children are fine. What about Grandma Cuomo? Kids are still healthy, but this shook us at our literal core, he said. All are stepping up. Can't wait to shake this fever so I can help her as she helped me. Sucks. Well, you know what? Maybe you should have stayed in the damn basement instead of going outside and playing with the kids and the wife and everything else, you dumb shit. Here you are going, I'm smart, and you're proving what a moron you are. And you're proving that your wife ain't much brighter than you. Cuomo announced his WuFlu diagnosis 2 weeks ago. He said he was feeling well enough to work and has continued to anchor his 9 p.m. program from his home. Yeah, while going, I can barely breathe. My breathing's labored, but I'm doing this because, I'm a true newsman. When he was doing it for the fact of sympathy and viewership, nothing more. Oh, God. He was like overplaying it. You could tell. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on getting it. But he was definitely hyping up how bad it was for him. He really was. At the time, he said he was having fevers, chills, and shortness of breath. Yeah. I just hope I didn't give it to the kids and Christina, he tweeted on March 31st. That would make me feel worse than this illness. Well, then you should have stayed locked up in the basement like, you were the love child of Sloth and the Cyclops from Harold and Kumar Escape Guantanamo Bay. Then your wife wouldn't have got it, you dumb shit. But you're smart. Jesus Christ. Cuomo said he's been in quarantine in his basement, which is a lie. We're going to go to this article here in a second, which he was caught outside and then filed a police report when he's trying to say, yeah, I've been quarantined. He then spurgs out on someone. He doesn't like that the guy doesn't, bow down to him and had heckled him. And, he kind of sort of then goes and creates an evidence trail by filing a police report that shows that he wasn't quarantining himself. So yeah, he wasn't quarantined in his basement, but whatever. In addition to Cuomo, CNN Brick Baldwin also tested positive for the WuFlu. CNN has implemented sweeping changes in response to the pandemic. A majority of employees have worked from home for several weeks, and anchors are broadcasting from small studios and home offices. Yeah, a bunch of them with like really crappy earbuds with a shitty microphone. You would think that they could at least invest in a half-decent mic, and order it from Amazon. I mean, I do this out of my own pocket on my own time, and I'm not getting paid large sums of money, and I went out and bought myself a decent mic. I got a nice Samsung mic. What, you guys can't go out and spend $100 on a mic, $150 on a mic? You work at fucking CNN. You make six figures a year. Go shell out the money, you cheap bastards. Anyway, let's now move on to the situation that shows that Chris Cuomo's a lying piece of shit and CNN are fake news lying pieces of shit. Well, of course he works there, so they all pretty much are. But yeah, I hate bullies. Bicyclist verbally attacked by Chris Cuomo fires back. Now here he is claiming that, and CNN's claiming that he's been quarantined in the basement. Well, let's get into this here. The Long Island resident blasted as a jackass loser fat tire biker by Chris Cuomo in a recent radio rant, which I just brought up here instead of pulling it from here because Mark Dice has the section I want. Told the Post on Tuesday that the CNN host is nothing but a bully, and he's even filed a complaint with the cops against him. Yeah, the guy heckled Cuomo, calling him out for not being locked up in his basement like the love child of Sloth and the Cyclops from Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. And he lost his shit on the guy. And then he goes and files a police complaint when he's the one that should be in quarantine because he's infected. I wish I was making this up because this is like complete and total stupidity. This is what you get from someone who gets it in their head, like Fredo from fucking The Godfather, that I'm smart. This is the stupid shit that they do. He could have just ignored the guy and did whatever, but no, he had to spurg out like a complete moron. Sometimes he's scary stupid, the East Hampton man who asked to only be identified by his first name, David, said of Governor Andrew Cuomo's little brother. Chris Cuomo launched into a tirade on his Sirius XM show Monday night about how he didn't like what he did for a living anymore. Oh, it's beautiful. You should go look for it. It is priceless. You can hear the defeat in his voice. He is like crushed. He's defeated. He's lost his fight. It's beautiful listening to him. Well, you'll hear from the part that I'm going to let you hear for what he called the guy, because it's kind of funny. It's better to hear it from him. But anyway. Chris Cuomo launched into a tirade on a Sirius XM show Monday night about how he didn't like what he was doing for a living anymore, and ranted about a confrontation he had with a bike rider outside his property Easter Sunday when the WuFlu infected TV star was hanging out with his family when he was supposed to be quarantined and locked in his basement. That last part about quarantining and locked in his basement, I'm adding myself, because he's supposed to be quarantined. I thought we're talking about, that's what New York said, but because he's the Godfather's baby brother and he thinks he's smart, he thinks he can do things that others, he would basically say should go to the coof camps for. And now his wife is infected because he's an idiot. I mean, the guy who was just riding by and gave him shit. Come on now. He should grow up and grow a thicker skin. I'm going to report you to the police. I'm going to tell. Me. Fucking idiot. Seriously. David, who had been riding by, started hassling Chris Cuomo about social distancing, and the CNN star leader seethed on his radio show that one big downside to money and fame is that he couldn't tell the guy to go to hell. Oh, well, he did, but anyway. Calling him out for being a hypocrite. Calling him out for being outside when he's infected. He's still, communicable on the note of giving it to others, all right? Well, he is communicable himself because he is a disease, but the disease is still communicable, okay? and he isn't locked away in his basement, the guy gives him a little shit about that, calls him out for it. And that's, hassling him? No. This is where I lost my thing. Like, up to this point, everything was good. But this is where it loses me here a little bit. He wasn't hassling him. He razzed him a little bit, gave him a little bit of shit. But maybe he rightfully deserved it because here he is on TV going, I've been locked in my basement the whole time. And he's outside when he still has the ability to infect people, most likely. He still says he's sick at this point. So now we're going to go over real quick and listen to it in his own words, because you can just hear the defeat and how what this guy did actually like crushed him, I think. Which I love how he calls him a fat tire biker, because it makes him sound like he's like a biker, like some dude on a Harley pulled over, because you're not thinking like fat mountain bike tires. You're thinking like a guy that's got like a friggin' gut around, like a tire around the middle. At least that's how I saw it. And then you look and it's, you're talking fat tire mountain bikes. It's a guy, yeah, Fredo. Good job, buddy. Anyway, let's take a listen.
I don't like what I do professionally, I've decided. I like doing this show. I like talking to you guys. But I don't value indulging irrationality, hyperpartisanship. I don't think it's worth my time. And I don't want some jackass, loser, fat tire biker to be able to pull over and get in my face and in my space and talk to me. I don't want to hear it. And just like you would, right? You're not going to tolerate that, right? Some cat.
Now, here's the thing. All right? Because I just wanted to hear that part, really. But here's the thing about that. It's a free country. He has free speech. He was on the public roadway or the sidewalk. He was not up in your face, you dumb shit. He was at a good distance. It was something like 40 feet or something, or like even further than that, because you came within 40 feet of him and after you walked up to him. So, yeah, let's move on here. Anyway, but he said, from that point forward, he said, I want to be able to tell you to go to hell, to shut your mouth. I don't get that doing what I do for a living, me being able to tell you to shut your mouth, or I will do you the way other guys do each other. Excuse me, you don't? You have, and you've got away with it. What the fuck are you talking about? You literally threatened to throw a guy down a flight of fucking stairs because you thought you were some fucking tough guy, you piece of shit. Shut the fuck up. You tortured soul, you guy who's worth millions of dollars. Oh, my life is so hard. Wah. You fucking baby. You entitled piece of shit. Anyway, David told the Post he was stunned that Cuomo verbally attacked him the way he did. I would be too. I'd be like, dude, who the fuck do you think you are? And it was a 65-year-old guy that was giving him shit. That's what's beautiful about this. It wasn't some young fucking dude. It was a 65-year-old man, and he lost his shit on a 65-year-old man for calling him out. It's fucking hilarious. The 65-year-old longtime resident said he was just out for a bike ride before Easter dinner when he spotted who he thought was Chris Cuomo on property, he says, the CNN anchor bought in East Hampton last year. The acreage is still being developed. A steel frame for its future house is all up at the moment, David said. So yeah, the guy's building another house. He's living in a house there. He's in the basement. So this is a big property. The guy's out on the street. It's not like he got in the dude's face. It's not like he trespassed and went up in Cuomo's fucking face. He was on the street. Like I mean, I'm kind of picturing like the guy, the heckler there from Happy Gilmore, like the idea of jackass, and it's just driving him ape shit, like just giving him shit from the street. And it wasn't like he was harassing him or anything like that. He just gave him a little shit in a free fucking country. David said Cuomo was with his wife, another woman, and 3 kids who were playing around the property. The resident said he stopped and sat on his bike well over 100 feet from the property. So here he is. He's 100 feet from the property line. This place is big enough to have an existing house on it and one he's building. So it doesn't have a small yard. So there's several hundred feet between him and Fredo. And Fredo's like, yo, I don't want you getting in my face. What a retard. I just looked and said, is that Chris Cuomo? Isn't he supposed to be in quarantine? Or isn't he supposed to be quarantined? Which is a valid question. He still could be Typhoid Mary. He should be in quarantine. You know, it's his network and MSNPC calling for the coof camps. With someone like him, he can't be trusted. Maybe he should be put in a coof camp. Actually, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I'm for, like, freedom and, yeah. But hypothetically, in Minecraft, maybe he should be put into a coof camp. I mean, come on now. Cuomo has been regularly airing his TV and radio show from his family home in Southampton, although from the basement as he stayed quarantined from them. Which clearly he isn't, when he's out in the yard with them. The anchor said on air Tuesday that he still suffers from a low-grade fever and feared that his wife is now showing signs of the virus. Yeah, he infected her. And I apologize for the phone going off. I forgot to mute it. But, yeah. So, maybe if he did actually quarantine himself, that wouldn't have been an issue. David said the woman who looked like Cuomo's wife came up to him and said, "May I help you?" He said he replied, "I'm riding my bike," then started asking why Cuomo was there out of quarantine and not social distancing from the group. Valid questions. Especially with the fact now that she's infected from the WuFlu. He said Cuomo then started toward him, coming to within 40 feet. I'm surprised Cuomo didn't threaten to coof on him. He said, "Who the hell are you? I can do what I want," David said. He just ranted and screaming, "I'll find out who you are." Why? Wait, Chris, you can do what you want because your big brother is the head honcho, the godfather of New York? Huh? Is that why you think you can do that? Or is it because you're this celebrity who thinks that you're better than everyone else? Because you and everyone on your network and at MSNPC are telling people that they need to be locked up in their homes for, minimum 3 months if we're lucky. But you're saying up to 18 months, and you're all pushing for the larger number as opposed to the smaller number. But you don't want to be locked up in your house, you hypocrite. And you're infected, you dumb shit. What an idiot. What an idiot. And this idea that, he just ranted and screaming, "I'll find out who you are." That's some, sadistic, sick fucker shit. That's like he thinks he's fucking part of the fucking, Godfather friggin', whole thing of, the mob or some shit. That his brother's going to send the cops after the guy or something. I mean, he filed a police report. Like a little bitch. I said to him, "Your brother's the WuFlu czar, and you're not even following his rules. Unnecessary travel," the resident said. He just began to boil more. Yeah, because this guy is calling out his shit and pointing out these things. It's just driving him nuts. Because he's telling everyone else that we have to do these things, and he won't even do it himself. So it's just eating away at him. He said, "This is not the end of this. You'll deal with this later. We will meet again. If that's not a threat, I don't know what is," David said. Sounds like a threat to me. Sounds like, I'm going to get the police after you. I'm going to talk to my big brother and have my big brother send his goons after you that have badges. That's what it sounds like to me. The man said he waited till Monday afternoon to call East Hampton cops to report the incident. Oh, he reported it. Why does it read? I thought when you look at it, from Fox and stuff and other, they report it as more like Cuomo. It sounds more like Cuomo did it. And I read this and I missed that. I apologize. But yeah. So he filed the police report. All right, maybe Chris Cuomo ain't that much of a bitch for filing the police report, but I'm sure he went and talked to his brother about getting the cops after him. I mean, when he's threatening the guy like that, I'm guessing. So anyway, I hate bullies, David said. At first, the resident said he got huge pushback from police about filing a report. Well, of course he's going to. But Tuesday morning, after the Post and other outlets reported Cuomo's meltdown, including about his run with the bicyclist, the police had a whole different attitude, David said. Well, of course they did, because Cuomo's even admitted to his spurging out. I wish I can't believe I missed that. I feel like an idiot now. I apologize for that. Wow. I read this through and completely just had that shoo, right over my head. I just missed it. The man said he asked the investigating officer, any chance you saw the report about Cuomo's radio rant? Yes, we have, the cop said. I think you'll like what we've written, the officer added, according to David, referring to the police report that's being prepared. David, who said he's a lifelong Democrat and voted for Andrew Cuomo for governor, added that he doesn't plan on pressing charges against Chris Cuomo unless I get any more feeling that this guy's a threat to me, adding, he just wanted to get something on the record. Well, that's smart. And I bet you Chris is even more pissed that he whined on the radio. Oh, God. This is some priceless shit. This really is. Anyway, I had a little screw up. Hopefully I edited this video. I had to do it in 2 halves because I forgot to enable my capture for going from the audio here. I hope that the transition is seamless. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.